Good morning, fam. Welcome back. I'm so proud of you for showing up today. If it's your first time, welcome, fam. This 20-minute routine is your personal invitation to shake off the stiffness, reconnect with your body, and feel fully recharged. Whether you've been waking up stiff from a restless night, stuck at a desk, or just need a fresh start, this one's for you. No equipment needed, just you, your breath, and a mat or soft surface. You can do this right at home, outside in the fresh air, or wherever you find a little peace and quiet. Here's what we'll do today. We'll flow through some gentle movements that target your spine, hips, and shoulders, the areas where tension loves to settle. We've designed this routine to wake up your entire body, build strength where you need it, and unlock flexibility where it's missing. I promise you, by the end of the session, you'll feel lighter, looser, and ready to take on the day with energy and confidence. Let's hit the mat. We're starting with the ultimate morning wake-up for your spine. Cat-cow stretch. Think of this as your spine's first sip of coffee. Come onto all fours with your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Inhale as you arch your back, lifting your chest and tailbone toward the sky, cow pose. Exhale as you round your spine, tucking your chin toward your chest, cat pose. Move slowly and rhythmically, letting your breath guide you through each motion. This gentle wave through your spine increases flexibility, releases tension, and massages the muscles along your back. I promise you, by the time we're done, you'll feel your spine lengthen and your back loosen, ready for whatever the day throws at you. If your wrists feel sensitive, place a folded towel under your hands for support. For a deeper stretch, hold each position for a few extra breaths. Let's take one last round of cat-cow, stretching long and breathing deep before flowing into our next move. Next up is a beautiful flow that blends relaxation with energy. Child's pose into cobra stretch. This one's a game changer for your spine, hips, and chest. Start in child's pose. Sit your hips back toward your heels, knees wide, and arms stretched out in front of you. Inhale, glide forward into cobra pose, lowering your hips to the mat. Press into your palms and lift your chest up, pulling your shoulders back. Exhale as you glide back into child's pose. Flow through this movement, finding a gentle rhythm that feels good in your body. This dynamic stretch opens up your hips, loosens your lower back, and stretches out the front of your body. It's a perfect balance of grounding and energizing. By the end of this minute, you'll feel like you've melted away tension and created space to move freely. Need a little extra comfort? Keep your elbows slightly bent in cobra, or place a pillow under your hips for support. Take one last glide forward into cobra, lifting your chest high before we press back into downward dog. Let's add some power to this flow with downward dog into cobra stretch. This one's going to stretch, strengthen, and energize you all at once. Press into your hands and lift your hips toward the sky, finding downward dog. Your body forms a triangle here. Fingers spread wide, heels sinking toward the mat. Inhale as you shift forward into cobra. Lift your chest and pull your shoulders back. Exhale as you push back into downward dog. Keep flowing with control. Move smoothly between the poses. This powerful dynamic stretch targets your spine, shoulders, hamstrings, and hips. I promise you'll feel taller, stronger, and more open, ready to take on anything today. Can't fully straighten your legs? That's okay. Bend your knees slightly in downward dog and focus on lifting your hips high. For cobra, keep your elbows bent to ease pressure on your lower back. Let's take one final push back into downward dog, feeling that length in your body, and then lower down for our next stretch. Now, let's unwind that upper back or thread the needle. Think of this as a gentle twist to release all that stiffness you didn't know you were carrying. Start on all fours, take your right arm and thread it under your left arm, lowering your right shoulder and ear to the mat. Keep your hips square and your left hand planted for support. Breathe deeply into the stretch, relaxing into the twist. This stretch melts away tension in the upper back, shoulders, and neck, areas that often tighten up after sleep or long hours sitting. By the time we're done, you'll feel a beautiful release and a renewed sense of mobility. If this feels too intense, place a pillow or block under your shoulder for support. Want a deeper twist? Extend your left arm overhead for a bigger stretch. Take one last deep breath, unwind slowly, and let's switch sides. Balance is everything, fam. So let's release the same tension on the left side now. From all fours, thread your left arm under your right, lowering your shoulder and head to the mat. Keep your hips steady and focus on your breath. Let each exhale take you deeper into the twist. Thread the needle helps unlock mobility, reduce stiffness, and stretch deep into the shoulders and spine. By the end of this, you'll feel light and relaxed across your entire upper body. Add a block under your shoulder for support, or extend your right arm overhead to increase the stretch. Slowly unwind and come back to all fours. Take a moment to notice how much looser your body feels already. Let's wake up those hips and quads with kneeling hip sit-ups. Think of this one as oiling the joints to keep your lower body moving smoothly. Start in a kneeling position with your knees hip-width apart and your hands resting gently on your thighs. On your inhale, lift your hips off your heels, pressing forward through your hips as you engage your glutes. Exhale as you lower back down, keeping your movement slow and controlled. Focus on squeezing your glutes as you lift and opening the front of your hips. This stretch strengthens your quads while improving mobility in your hip flexors, a major area of tension from sitting too much. I promise you, by the end of this move, your hips will feel looser, stronger, and ready for action. If kneeling feels uncomfortable, place a cushion or folded blanket under your knees for extra support. Want to add more of a challenge? Extend your arms overhead as you lift to engage your core even more. Let's press those hips forward one last time, feeling that beautiful stretch, and lower back down as we shift into our next move. Time to deepen that hip mobility with the frog squat, a stretch that opens up the hips, stretches the inner thighs, and gets you ready to move with ease. Start standing with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Turn your toes slightly outward. Drop down into a deep squat. Bring your elbows to the insides of your knees. Place your hands in a prayer position or press them against your thighs for support. Use your elbows to gently press your knees outward as you sink deeper into the squat. Hold this position, breathing deeply and keeping your chest lifted. This move is a game changer for your hips, groin, and lower back, helping to release tension and improve range of motion. By the end of the stretch, your hips will feel wide open and you'll have more freedom in your movements. If a deep squat is too intense, stay higher up and use a wall or sturdy surface for balance. If you want to challenge yourself more, gently shift side to side to deepen the stretch further. Take one more deep breath here, feeling the tension melt away, and rise up slowly as we move into our next stretch. Next, let's work on the hip joints with seated internal hip rotations. Think of this as fine-tuning the mobility that supports every lower body movement. Sit down on the mat with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Place your hands behind you for support. Drop your right knee towards your left foot, bringing your knee as close to the floor as it feels comfortable. Come back to center and drop your left knee towards your right foot. Keep alternating side to side, allowing your hips to loosen and flow naturally. The stretch targets internal rotation in your hips, which is key for overall mobility, preventing injuries, and helping you move better in daily activities. By the end, your hips will feel more mobile and ready for any movement you throw their way. If the rotation feels tight, start with smaller movements and don't force your knees down. If you want to take it a little bit further, try lifting your hands off the floor and sitting tall as you rotate. Bring your knees back to center, taking a deep breath to reset. Now, let's activate those glutes with fire hydrants. It's time to fire up those glutes and strengthen your hips with fire hydrants. This move is small but mighty, and you're going to feel the burn in all the right places. Start on all fours with your wrists under your shoulders and knees under your hips. Keeping your core engaged, lift your right knee out to the side, like you're opening a door. Lower your knee back down with control. Move steadily, focusing on squeezing the glutes. This move is strengthening your glutes, hips, and stabilizers, which support balance, posture, and injury prevention. By the end of this minute, you'll feel your glutes light up like never before. If you feel any wrist discomfort, drop your forearms for support. If you want to challenge yourself, add a small resistance band above your knees for extra intensity. Let's lower the right knee back to the mat. Take a moment to shake it out and hit the other side. We can't leave the left side behind. Let's balance things out and fire up those glutes on the other side. Stay on all fours and lift your left knee out to the side, maintaining control. Keep your core tight to avoid tilting your hips too much. Focus on the movements coming from your glutes and outer hips. This move is all about building glute strength and improving hip stability. Strengthening your hips is essential for everything, from walking and running to squats and daily movements. Take it slow if you're feeling any tightness and focus on controlled lifts. For an advanced challenge, hold your knee lifted for a few seconds before lower your knee down. Take a deep breath and sit back into child's pose for a moment to reset before we move on. Let's dive into one of the best stretches to release those hips and glutes, figure 4 stretch. Think of this as a reset button for your lower body after all that activation. Lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, creating a 4 shape with your legs. Gently pull your left knee toward your chest, interlacing your fingers behind your thigh. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your head resting on the mat as you breathe deeply. The stretch targets the glutes, outer hips, and lower back, all areas that get tight from sitting or running or even standing for long periods. By the end, you'll feel a release in your hips and a deep sense of relaxation. If you're feeling tight, keep your left foot on the floor and gently press your right knee open with your hand. If you need more of a challenge, pull the knee closer to your chest for a deeper stretch. Let go of your legs slowly. Plant both feet back on the mat and let's switch sides to give that same love on the left hip. We can't leave the left side hanging. It's time to balance out and release the tension we're holding in those hips. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh, forming that 4 shape. Gently pull your right knee toward your chest, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Breathe deeply and focus on allowing the stretch to deepen naturally. This stretch is essential for opening up the hips, relieving tightness, and improving overall mobility. I promise, by the end of this, you'll feel lighter and more at ease. If this feels like a challenge, keep your right foot on the floor and use your hand to press your left knee gently. If you're looking for more, pull that knee closer to your chest for a deeper stretch. Release your leg to the mat. Take a deep breath in and let's flip over for some core and back activation. Next up, we're building strength and stability with Bird Dog. This one is all about balance, control, and getting your body aligned. Come onto all fours with your wrists directly under your shoulders and knees under your hips. Extend your right arm forward and your left leg straight back, creating one long line from your fingertips to your toes. Hold for a second, then bring your elbow and knee together under your body, keeping the movement slow and controlled. Repeat for a full minute, focusing on balance and stability. Bird Dog works your core, back, and glutes, while improving coordination and balance. This move is your key to building a stable foundation that supports all movements. Struggling with balance? Keep your foot lightly touching the floor as you extend. Advanced, fam? Hold each extension for a few extra seconds to fire up those stabilizing muscles. Let's lower the right arm and left leg back to the mat. Reset and switch sides to balance it out. Balance and alignment aren't just one-sided. We're going to give the same love to the other side with Bird Dog. Extend your left arm forward and your right leg straight back, creating a strong, stable line. Hold the extension for a moment, then draw your elbow and knee together under your body. Move slowly and with intention, focusing on control and stability. This move strengthens your core, glutes, and back, while enhancing your body's coordination and balance. By the end, you'll feel sturdy, strong, and ready to take on the day. Need more stability? Keep your toes slightly touching the mat as you extend. Want a challenge? Add a pause at the top to really activate your core and glutes. Lower back to all fours, take a deep breath, and shift onto your seat for our next stretch. Let's wind things down with a stretch that feels like a hug, literally. The seated knee hug will release tension in the lower back and hips. Sit tall on your mat with your legs extended straight out in front of you. Hug your right knee into your chest, wrapping your hands around your shin. Sit up tall and gently pull your knee closer as you breathe deeply, keeping your shoulders relaxed. This stretch helps relieve tightness in the lower back and hips, while also promoting better posture. By the end, you'll feel grounded, relaxed, and more open. If you're struggling to sit tall, place a folded towel under your hips for support. Want a deeper stretch? Gently rotate your knee outward as you hold. Let's release that right leg down with control. Take a deep breath and bring the left knee in for the same stretch. Let's even things out with the left side, bringing the same gentle release to your lower back and hips. It's like giving yourself a little self-care hug to finish strong. Sit tall with your legs extended out in front of you. Pull your left knee into your chest, wrapping your hands around your shin. Sit up as tall as possible, keeping your spine long and shoulders relaxed. Gently pull your knee closer towards you as you breathe deeply. The stretch eases lower back tightness, opens up the hips, and improves posture. By hugging one leg in, you create space and mobility through your hips and spine. You'll feel relaxed and more open as you finish the side. If sitting tall feels tough, place a cushion or towel under your hips. Place a cushion or towel under your hips to elevate your seat. To deepen the stretch, gently rotate your knee outward for a little extra opening. Release the left leg slowly back to the mat. Take a deep inhale and let's come to a standing position to focus on your hamstrings and full body release. Now it's time to get into those hamstrings and unlock tension across your legs and spine. The stretch will give you that deep release we all need in the morning. Stand with your feet wide, slightly further than hip width apart. Hinge at the hips and reach your right hand towards your left foot, keeping your chest open and your spine long. Return to center, then switch sides. Left hand to your right foot. Move steadily, breathing with each stretch. This dynamic stretch lengthens the hamstrings, loosens up the lower back, and opens up your hips. By moving side to side, you're improving flexibility while keeping the body engaged. Feeling stiff? Bend your knees slightly as you reach for the toes. Advanced? Add a little pause as you reach each side to deepen the stretch. Let's finish strong with one more reach on each side, then come back to center as we flow into a calming forward fold. This stretch is like a full body exhale. Let's melt forward, release the spine, and let gravity work its magic. Stand tall with your feet hip width apart. Hinge forward at the hips, letting your upper body hang down toward the ground. Allow your head to relax, arms to dangle, and knees to soften slightly. Breathe deeply, feeling your hamstrings and back release with each exhale. This stretch lengthens the entire back of your body, from your hamstrings to your lower back, while promoting relaxation and improved circulation. I promise you'll feel lighter and refreshed as you let go of any lingering tightness. If you're struggling to reach, place your hands on your shins or a yoga block for support. If you want more of a stretch, gently straighten your legs and shift your weight into your toes. Slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time, keeping your head for last. Take a deep breath in as you stand tall, and let's finish with one final stretch to open your chest and shoulders. Let's close with a powerful stretch to open your chest. Strengthen your spine and leave you feeling strong and centered. Lie face down on the mat with your hands under your shoulders, elbows close to your sides. Press through your palms to lift your chest, straightening your arms as much as is comfortable. Keep your hips grounded and shoulders relaxed. Breathe in deeply as you open through your heart and chest, then exhale to soften into the stretch. The stretch energizes the spine, opens your chest, and combats that forward hunching we often do throughout the day. It strengthens your back muscles and leaves you feeling lifted, open, and ready for anything. If the full cobra feels too intense, lower down into Sphinx pose by resting on your forearms instead of your palms. Want to deepen the stretch? Press into the tops of your feet and lift your chest higher. Lower yourself slowly back down to the mat. Press back through your hands, and let's finish in child's pose to reset and unwind. This final stretch is where we let things go. Your breath, your tension, your worries. It's time to settle, reset, and give yourself gratitude for showing up today. Sit back on your heels with your knees wide and toes touching. Stretch your arms forward, letting your forehead rest gently on the mat. Breathe deeply, feeling your back expand with each inhale and soften with each exhale. Let your entire body melt into the floor. Child's pose releases tension in the lower back, hips, and shoulders while calming the nervous system. It's the perfect way to close out the session and bring a sense of peace to your body and mind. I promise you'll leave this stretch feeling centered and recharged. If your hips are tight, keep your knees closer together or place a pillow under your chest for support. If you want more, stretch your fingertips forward just a little further. Take one last deep breath here, feeling your body completely relaxed. When you're ready, slowly sit up and bring yourself back to a seated position. Great work, fam. In just 20 minutes, you've stretched, strengthened, and energized your entire body, releasing tension from head to toe. You showed up, you moved, and you won the day. So give yourself some love for that. Fam, before you leave, remember, just showing up is half the battle, and you crushed it. When that notification bell goes off, make sure to press play. It's that simple. And hit the subscribe button so you never miss a session. And invite your friends to join you for accountability. It's always better together. Oh, and don't forget to grab your free gift in the description to help you level up your fitness game. Stay strong, stay powerful, and I'll see you in the next session. Let's go.